Hello dear students. In this video, we will see what do you mean by best case, worst case and average case of an algorithm. Now, when does an algorithm work best? That's the word, best case. In which circumstances will the algorithm work in least time, will give the result in least time is called best case. To understand what do you mean by best case, let us take an example of linear search. Now imagine we have an array of some values, some arbitrary values I am taking. Let's say these are the values, and as you know, in the array indexing starts with 0. So we have 0 to 5 values, 0 to 5 indexes. That means size of the given array is 6. In general, n is the size, so n is 6. 0 to 5 indexes, isn't it? And the problem asked is we want to search some value in this array. Now imagine that we are searching some value x and the value of x is 10. This is what we want to search. Really, we don't know whether this 10 is present or absent. But then how does linear search work is, linear search will start searching this value 10 from the beginning of the array, that is from 0th position. And it will check, is this 0th position really storing the value that we are searching? Is it 10? Oh yes, this value immediately is 10. So what will linear search do is, of course, it will terminate announcing that the value that we were searching x equal to 10 is immediately found. But then how many comparisons did we, or rather did linear search do? Check it, linear search performed only one comparison. That comparison was at the beginning of the array and it immediately found the value. You can easily understand that this is the best case of linear search. We write best case of linear search is Tn to search value in the given array of size n is the size, is big O of 1. Now, this is the best case. That is, in the best case, what can happen is linear search would immediately find the value at the very first place, that is 0th place, and only one comparison will be done. In fact, let me tell you that not only about linear search, let it be any kind of search, linear search, hash search, binary search, any kind of search, the best case always will be big O of 1. Obvious, isn't it? Because whenever we start searching, and if we are lucky, we might immediately get that value in the beginning of the sequence given. So in short, if we are lucky, we might get the value and only in one comparison. So remember, any searching algorithm, best case is always big O of 1. Just a word of caution here. You might be thinking that teacher has written big O of 1 has been written because only one comparison was done. So that is why big O of 1 is written. No, it's not the fact. Whenever you see any algorithm performing in this time complexity, big O of 1, then we say it is constant time. This is constant time taken by the algorithm. What do you mean by that? To understand this, just imagine a very simple algorithm where we have a for loop where I runs from 1 to 5, okay, and it does some operation. And this is our algorithm, very small algorithm. This some algorithm, I will name it as example algorithm. And whenever we run this algorithm, this loop runs 5 times exactly and runs this operation. Let us count this operation as one operation, okay? So if you are asked what is the time complexity of this algorithm, you will say irrespective of data size, whatever is the data size, that is n, size of the array or size of matrix, whatever, This algorithm will always run this operation 5 times and exactly 5 times. So you will write, for this algorithm, time taken is big O of 5 because 5 operations are done. No, you will write it as big O of 1. By big O of 1, what I mean is, whenever you run the algorithm, whatever is the case, whatever is the data size, it will always run that operation which is there in the algorithm constant number of times, and it will run 5 times. What if this was changed to n? N is the data size. In that case, the number of operations done by the algorithm is big O of n. Then it is not constant size, because as n grows larger and larger, big O of n also will increase, isn't it? But if this was always 5, then it is going to be big O of 1. So coming back to our linear search, you tell me, whatever is the array size, whatever might be the array size, let it contain 1000 elements. But what will be the best case? It will always get the value at the first element if we are lucky, isn't it? So we say best case of linear search is big O of 1. Okay, I hope you have understood that. Now what is the worst case? Worst case of linear search. Just check. Suppose if we are again searching a value in some array, I will again take some array. Let's say some values, some arbitrary values I am taking, and indexes are again from 0 to 5. So size of the array, what we call it as n, is 6 here, 6 elements in the array. And let's take an example that we are searching a value 18. Check that 18 is present. Let's call x as 18. 18 is present. But then how many comparisons will linear search do to search 18? Well, linear search will always start asking the very first element, that is 0th element. Are you 18? It isn't. So linear search will continue to the next element and it will ask the first element in the array, are you 18? It isn't. So you see how linear search is going linearly in the array and asking every element, is it 18? No. And finally, when it asks, check my word, when it compares this element, it knows that 18 is present. So how many comparisons were done? Let's count comparisons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. After doing this sixth comparison, we understood that 18 is present. So don't you see that these are lot of comparisons? Yes, because you have literally searched the entire array and good lord, you got your value at the last element. This can be called as worst case. So tell me, in worst case, how many comparisons were done? N. You can see 6 comparisons were done last element, and n is in fact the size of the array. So the worst case is big O of n. In fact, in case of linear search, I'll say that if we are really unlucky and we are searching for a value which is at the end of the array, we would consume lot of comparisons, and linear search will really give a poor performance. As far as time is concerned, it will really be very poor. There is one more worst case, but don't worry about it. You already understood worst case. Here we go. What can be worst case again? You know that worst case is big O of n, and that's not going to change. That result is not going to change. But let's take an example. Suppose if we say we are searching some array and the values given are as follows. Indexes again from 0 to 5. So size of the array, that is n, is 6. Now imagine that we are searching for a value, let us say 16. So what's so special about this 16? You can watch that in the above array, this value 16 is not present. That can happen worst to your searching algorithm, linear search. What linear search will do, it will ask this person, this element, are you 16? No. So one comparison already done, isn't it? This isn't 16. So one more comparison done, and so on. Every element it will ask, is it 16? It will do the comparison. And it will obviously ask the last element also, are you 16? So by this time, every element says that it is not 16. Already 6 comparisons done. So what linear search will do is, come on, it will go to the next element, because there is a loop in the linear search. So it will go to the position 6 and it will check what's present here. Oops, wait a minute, the array has ended. Linear search would know this by knowing the size of the n. As n is 6, there cannot be sixth position. But of course, linear search will cross over the bounds. And when it crosses the bounds, it would know that it has come to the end of the array. This is also counted as a comparison. Come on, because to know that it has gone beyond the bounds, it should have some condition that the position at which we are is in fact out of the array. That can be one more comparison. So how many comparisons have occurred if 16 was supposed to be searched but 16 could not be found? You can check that in the array of size n. Note that n is 6 very carefully. Number of comparisons done were 7. So n plus 1 comparisons were done. Now you know from our discussion of big O notation, this is a polynomial of degree 1. Just check it. This is n raised to 1 plus 1. So how will you write this? You will drop lower order terms and you will write that in the worst case, linear search works in Tn is equal to big O of n. This n raised to 1 plus 1 can be easily written as On. And that was the result we got earlier also. When we were searching last element 18, we still got On. Okay. But then if you are asked what can be the worst case, or rather, if you are asked when does linear search work worst, you should say linear search will work worst if we are searching last element, or if we are searching a value which is not present, isn't it? And when will linear search do best? You should say when we are lucky and if we are searching for a value which is immediately present at the beginning of the array. In that case, there will be constant time taken, which is written as big O of 1. Now comes the interesting part. What if we are asked what is the average case? Average case of linear search. Now, by average case, what we mean is not that kind of average. You might think that best case is big O of 1, worst case is big O of n. So just add them and divide this whole thing by 2. No, no, no. Not that kind of average we are talking about. By average case, what we mean is that what if the value is present at any position of the array, or may be present at any position. See, in best case, we assumed it is present in the beginning. In worst case, we assumed that it is not present or it is present at the end of the array. In average case, we have to give every position a chance that the value might be present at 0th place, or the value may be found at first place, or may be found at second place, or may not be found. To understand average case, let me take an array again. Let's say I'm taking some arbitrary array, again, and let's say the positions are 0 to 5. Here are some values. So n is 6, size of the array. Now, to study average case, we say, what if we are searching some value and we don't know what value, some value we are searching, and the value is immediately found at the beginning. That means, what if x that we are searching is found, suppose, is found at place 0, is found at place 0. Then how many comparisons will be done? If the value is found immediately here, linear search will stop in one comparison, isn't it? One comparison it will stop. But what if we are searching some element which is found in two comparisons? What if we are searching 5? Come on, if we are searching 5, then this is not the value we are searching. So linear search will go ahead and here it gets 5. But then the linear search in this case has done two comparisons. So what if x is found at place 1? This is the place I'm talking about. At place 1, then number of comparisons done will be 2 comparisons. Similarly, what if what if X is found at place 2, this place which I am encircling, then it will do one comparison, 14 not found, 14 not found, 14 found. So it will do three comparisons. All these, are equiprobable because we don't know where the value might be found. That's the average case. So what can we say further is, what if X is found at place n minus 1? Note that n minus 1th place is the last place, n is 6. In this case, there will be 6 comparisons done, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 comparisons done. We say in general n comparisons. That's the size of the array. And what if X is not found at all? You can do one thing, you can skip that case, because anyway the answer is not going to vary, answer is not going to be troubled. But what if X is not found? In the case X is not found, then you remember we search all n places and we cross over the bound, so the number of comparisons are n plus 1, isn't it so? But let me tell you, you can easily skip this because the answer is not going to alter. Don't worry, I will take this particular n plus 1 value also later on. But let's take these equiprobable cases. All these cases are equiprobable. So what we now do is we find average of all this comparison. Yes. So what is average? What is average of all the comparisons? Just add one comparison, two comparison, three comparison, up to n comparison. And how many such cases are there? N cases. Just count this. These are exactly n cases, isn't it? So divide this with n, and now what is the numerator? Numerator is nothing but n into n plus 1 by 2, summation of all values from 1 to n divided by n, divided by this n, the denominator. So what do you get now? This numerator becomes n square by 2 plus n by 2 divided by n. Now if you just cancel out this n and this n, what you are left out with is n by 2 plus 1 by 2. Isn't it so? You tell me, isn't this clearly a polynomial of degree 1? N raised to 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2. This is clearly a polynomial of degree 1, and we can write time taken to search a value in array of size n is big O of n. So in the average case also, linear search works in big O of n. In worst cases, it works in big O of n. Actually, the number of comparisons performed are much less in average case because it is n by 2 plus 1 by 2. But this is the asymptotic notation in which we write only about growth rate, and we say this is linear function, isn't it? N is a linear function. It's like y is equal to x, where we have x raised to 1. This is a linear function, n raised to 1. That's average case. By the way, what if we would have taken that n plus 1 comparisons also? You recall I striked out this? I striked out n plus 1. We would still get the same answer, because in that case, we would have added this n plus 1 also, and we would get n plus 1 in the denominator, because now we have n plus 1 cases. If you solve this, you will still get big O of n. Just check. If you solve this, you will still get big O of n, because numerator will be still n square by 2 plus n by 2 plus n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. If you do this, you will still get some polynomial of degree 1, and average case will be big O of n. Before I end up the video, let me tell you one thing, that finding average case is somewhat tricky many times, especially in the case of sorting techniques like quicksort. We would have a very big work while finding average case. Many times it is challenging. But the good news I have is that most of the times, algorithm writers are always interested in worst case. Yeah, multiple times they are not even interested in best case, they are interested in worst case, because whenever anyone produces any new thing, you would always say that when will this not work comfortably, isn't it? Or when is this going to fail, when is this going to consume lot of time. So worst case is most of the times underlined by most of the authors. This much in this video. More about this worst, average, best case will be seen as we see multiple topics in algorithms. Thank you very much.